Hey guys, how's everyone doing tonight? Austin here from the Nashville Filler Strategy Battle Gaming Group, and tonight we're going to be painting up and starting some Mirkwood Elves. So this is a army that I've been interested in doing for a while, and tonight I'm going to be painting up the captain for the battle companies that we're doing in our group right now. So this is the captain and what he looks like. And what I did is I primed him in black, and then I gave him some zenithal highlights from above with the whites. That way you kind of have that sun look to him. And so what we're going to do in this base you can see here, it's not the base that he comes with. This is a base from a miniature market, and they've got a bunch of these. So if you're interested in using this kind of base, um, definitely check them out. I really like it. I think it looks great, kind of walking down the steps here. So we'll do the base as well. Maybe not tonight. We'll see how far we get tonight in our group. But if you are joining us, go ahead and drop a comment in the message and let me know you're here. I'm going to go ahead and share this with our Facebook page, and then we'll get started. I'm excited to paint this model. I also put together and did the same kind of highlight or priming for my Thranduil. So I've got him here on the elk. I think this is a great looking model. Really like him. And I've got the rest of the base to go with it. But same thing, I did a black prime coat with the Citadel black primer. And then I did a zenithal highlight from above to get the kind of sunlighting and kind of get some shadings. That way, when you paint this model, you'll have different colors from how the sun would hit it. All right, so I'm going to share this to our page, Facebook page, real quick, and we'll get jumped on it. I'll go through the paints that we're going to use for the captain. I gotta grab them out too. All right. So I took, as you saw from the clip that I had for this video, that is a picture from the art of the Hobbit and some kind of costume design that they had for the Hobbit models. Hey Lee, how you doing tonight? Good to see you again, buddy. So anyways, I took that picture from the art of the Hobbit and kind of following off of that, and also took a picture um, from the um, Games Workshop page, and we're going to kind of be going off of this picture right here. So this is kind of how my captain looked with a red cape, and then he's got the glaive as well in his hand, and so we're going to kind of be going off of this with gold armor, blonde hair, lighter color skin tone. We'll do some highlights there and go with that, and then we'll work on the base as well. And what I was kind of thinking about for the base is it's kind of like when they're fighting in the Battle of the Five Armies, where Thranduil is get his knocked off his elk, and they're fighting. This is kind of what it reminds me of here. As you can see, the steps that he's going down here, and kind of the rubble that is around him. So I really like this model, and I got this model last week from Kurt Vanetis, one of the guys in our group. So a big thank you to him. I've been looking for this model for a long time, and I know he's not cheap online, so I'm really glad I got him. All right, so I'm going to go through and grab the paints real quick that we're going to use for the painting this guy. Give me just a few minutes. So Lee, what have you been up to today? Did you have a good day? I hope you had a good day at least. How are the kids doing? Hope they're also doing well. Kind of last time I was painting, I threw all my paints in here. I was in a hurry, so now they're all kind of a mess. So I'm trying to go through them right now, but we will get started very shortly. Once I can find everything that I'm looking for. All right, guys, so we are all ready to get started. So we're going to go in this row. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the cape. What you saw in that picture was red. We're going to do a base coat of Corn Red by Citadel. And then once we do that, we're going to do a base coat of Retributor armor, and that's going to go over the armor for the captain. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go and do Lead Belcher on the glaive, so the metal part of the glaive. Then for his skin, we're going to do Cadian Flesh Tone. Then for his hair, we're going to do a base coat of Xandri Dust. Then for the back of the shields and for the spear shaft, we're going to do Rhinoxide. And then we're going to finish off with Gorthor Brown, which is going to be for the belt, the glove, and then the leather trim on his uniform. All right, so getting started, we are going to start with the. I'm going to get some water here, and then grab my wet palette. Still, nice thing about the wet palette is I was telling y'all in the first stream that we did for the ruins that we painted is if you put your wet palette in a Tupperware dish and you seal it, that water droplets that I had in there from 2 weeks ago are still in there. So, and the paint is still moist in there as well. So that's really nice. I don't have to do any more water to that. I'm just going to add some water to my paint cup, so that way I can wash my paintbrushes when I'm done with them. I'm glad I definitely agree with you, Lee, that very long day at work, and then you're painting the most tedious model you've done yet. So what model is that? I had a long day as well. That's why you can see I'm drinking a beer. I'm actually drinking Not Your Father's root beer, which is one of my favorite drinks to enjoy after a long day. I had like a 10-hour day today, and um, my mentor at work is having some issues. He was just not in a good mood today, so it's good to not be at work anymore and get to enjoy doing some painting and hanging out with you tonight, buddy. Oh, Halbrad with his banner. I actually got that model when he had them made to order. I put him together, but I haven't painted him yet. So he's primed, but that's all I've done with him so far. Um, but yeah, I haven't done a whole lot of looking into him to see um, how detailed and how bad it's going to be. But I'll take your word for it that it's not fun. And I'm sure you're also glad the kids are asleep. All right, so I'm just going to wet down my paintbrush, and then I'm going to shake up my corn red, make sure it's mixed well. Yeah, I'm looking forward. So tomorrow night we're doing week 2 of our battle companies, and we're its first mission is defend the gate. That looks like a really fun mission. I'm actually going to use the ruins for part of the wall of the gate, and so here's the ruins that we painted. And you can see now here where we did the algae last night. You can see it down here, and then if you look, you can see in the cracks where I painted that. You can see the algae growing there in this rock too. So we're going to use these tomorrow night, at least in the game that I'm going to play, for part of the wall, and then um, we'll have the two statues that I painted, and you can see them here. This is post algae, and you can see down here in the bottom. You can see there the algae is green right there, and then you can see the green kind of going up the base of him, and then he's got some green in his beard. So what I'm thinking about doing is instead of having a physical gate, I'm just gonna have these two statues like so, and then that'll be like an invisible gate. So we're gonna try that out. Oh, I see. Yeah, that can be tough. Red's one of my favorite colors, so I'm happy we're starting out with red. I like the idea of my captain having a red cape. I'm just very happy and so grateful I got this model because I was looking for him on eBay and the buy sell trade groups, and the cheapest I could find him was for 150 bucks for this model that we're painting tonight. So very happy and very thankful for my friend Kurt Vanetis from our group that he sold me this model. Probably the most expensive model that I could say that I have in my collection right now because of how much you can't get them anywhere right now, and online he's cheapest I found him was 150 bucks, which is ridiculous. I'm happy I didn't have to pay that price for him. All right, so I'm going to use when I'm painting these miniatures, I use the Citadel paint handle. This is just one that I got a good discount on, so I like using those because it holds the miniature well, and I can get all around him. So I'm going to start with this cape, and we'll go to town here. Yeah, as I was telling you last night, Lee, I'm going to get that the map put together and posted on our group this weekend. So that way, people can start, looking for each other and get some games in, and just kind of as a way to find people, so they can revert to the ASBGA page and then find our group, and then they can look to our own map, and it'll have a, more focused, uh, detail on it. I'm going to start with one coat, let it dry, and then I'm going to go back and do a second coat of red on top of that. So that way you want to do thin coats here so that we don't obstruct any detail. So I watered down my corn red about 1 to 1 water to the corn red. I'm really liking the color of this on his cape. But again, red is my favorite color. So Lee, talking about, you're saying you're not enjoying painting this model right now. What has been your favorite model to paint so far? Mhm. I saw that we got another subscription to our group or our YouTube channel today, so we're now at 43. You're only 7 away from getting the next YouTube membership level, so I'm excited for that. And I also like statistics, so I think it's fun to look and see how our channel has grown over time. I think that just looking at that data is fun. But I'm a scientist, so that kind of stuff I geek out about. I'll put some Lord of the Rings music in the background while we're painting. You want to start with the cape here because you're going to do his hair. So you want to go ahead and get the cape done. Um, so that way you can get into the hair, which is above is actually overlapping part of the cape. You want to make sure you get the cape, and then if you miss the hair, you can just paint over it. I'm actually using an Army Painter paintbrush here, and this is called the Super Detail um, paintbrush that I'm using. But I got this at a tournament. So John Billy and I went to Arkansas for their tournament called Mirkwood Madness, and I got best painted in that tournament with my Moria army list with the Balrog and stuff. And I got, I think, $35 in store credit at the store that they had the tournament at. So I ended up buying some paintbrushes with that money and just got some fine detail brushes that I didn't have. So they've been a good investment since I've used them a lot so far. Helped to increase the skill of my painting. As I said there, and I always start out my Lord of the Rings playlist with Billy Boyd and The Last Goodbye. That's my absolute favorite that they came out with. I love it. I think about the movies and what he's talking about in the song. Oh, cool. The Gimli. I haven't done that model yet with the made to order. I primed all those guys, but I haven't gotten around to painting him yet. I think my favorite model that I've painted is actually my Gimli from the 300 set. I think he turned out really nicely, in his face I think turned spot on. I actually gave that model away recently in our tournament. I gave that as that was part of the trophy. I gave that model away that I painted, so I'll have to redo it and see if I can get the face as good as I did last time. All right, so now I did a first cut. You can see there. You can still see some of the black in on the cape, so I'm going to go back and do a second coat now on it to kind of get that brighter red color. That way you don't see the black showing through so much. It might have to go back and do a third coat, but we'll see how this one turns. So that's your favorite model is you said you're gambling, but you like all your models. What's your least favorite? Is it Halbrad right now? I can tell you what mine is. I've already announced it a bunch on the group. This Captain model. This is actually going to be part. This is part of my project one of the painting contest that we're starting this week slash next week. So if you have, I can't remember if you're going to do it, Lee, but do you know what you're going to do for project one? I'm going to do this captain. I'm going to do for the other one. For the other model I'm going to paint is what's her name? Can't think of her name right now, but the female elf in the Hobbit movies that falls in love with the dwarf. But I'm going to paint her up when I get done with this model. She's one of my sergeants in my battle companies. I like the root that or the tree stump that she's on. I think it's a great looking model. Looks like we've got someone else that has joined us. If you're joining us, go ahead and say hello in the chat. Oh, sweet. So Elf Helm, that'll be a sweet model. I really like how that model. I don't have him yet, but it's a model that I'm eventually planning on getting. Yeah, I got the made to order stuff today, Lee, and then that hurt. But can't wait to get it. I really like the Goblin King throwing that goblin. I think it's a great action pose, and can't wait to get it. And then the casualties I think are going to be really fun for the Pelennor Fields board that we have. Um, I'm excited to get that as well. I think seeing casualties on the battlefield will be fun and just give it some more, life. Yeah, whenever you're painting, if you are a new painter, I know you're not, Lee, but if you are a new painter, you always want to water down your paint. You don't want to stick it right in the pot because it'll get rid of some of the detail of your model. So you just want to go and do lots of uh, thin coats, and then you'll get the color that you're looking for. And you want to obstruct any detail. It's looking good so far. Why didn't you like painting the Urukai, Lee? Yeah, I I haven't bought the Forge World made to order stuff yet. Um, but I'm planning on, putting that down tomorrow with some other Forge World stuff that I'm looking at getting, so that way I'll get some free shipping. And tomorrow's payday for me. That's always a good day. Then that mine doesn't last very long, but that's okay. Anyways, why were the Urukai? Why did you not like painting those guys so much? You just don't think they were fun to paint? Yeah, I understand that. A model being not, just boring or not fun to paint. Yeah, I would love to see some Rohan run over some Isengard too. Even though, like, people are not happy that there's not a whole lot of Isengard armed forces. I still think Isengard is one heck of an army to go against with all the options that they have right now. So he's looking pretty good right now. I'm running out of paint um, on my wet palettes. I'm gonna go ahead and get some more paint and just do another coat all around on it. So that way, it just gives it that more red look that we're looking for. And then I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the armor. Yeah, yeah. Isengard, Dwayne Fleck, who played Isengard in that tournament, came in fourth place. It was close, so he almost got third. Well, I'm sure you know that people that play Isengard will be happy if they get something new to play with, new toys. But yeah, I got with the made to order stuff on Games Workshop today. I got the Goblin King throwing the Goblin. I think that's such a cool pose. Um, and I got the Twilight Ring Race, which I think are also just really cool models. Stuff that you probably won't play with them in a tournament, but for story purposes, playing that scenario on Weathertop, just be great to have those models. And I picked up two sets um, of the downed models, so I'll have 16 total to play around with and put on a 4x4 and on trophies that we make for our group. Um, then I got the Dwarf Kings, just because there's really cool models and you don't see them online. And then I got the human kings of old as well. I got some Moria orcs, armored orcs, because one of my main armies that I've got painted up right now is a Moria army. So I was, swapping up some of those goblins, so that way they're not all the same model. I think it'll be great just to give it some more diversity to the army and make it look a little bit better and stand out more. So I'm looking forward to painting those guys up. The only stuff I didn't get were the Mordor models, just because I've got some already. And then I didn't get the Gandalf and the Bilbo model because I've got two Gandalfs of that pose. So I didn't want to get a third one. Anyways, that's what I got today, and I can't wait to get that stuff in the next week or two. All right, so I'm going to add one more coat on this. I'm just going over on the back of the cape right now. All right, so I'm going to go around to the front of his cape now. Getting our coat on this side. All right, now I'm going to get around to this side of his cape now, and then we'll move on to the armor. I think I was telling you about this last night, Lee, but I was watching Articon yesterday, a recap of it, and one of the guys from the Australia group brought the Rohan Legendary Legion, and it did quite well in the tournament, I believe. Um, so that's really cool to see. And at the tournament that John Bill went to in North Carolina, there was also a guy that got third place that played with a version of the Legendary Legion for Rohan. So very cool to see that army is doing. All right, so I am happy with how his cape is looking. Um, all right, so I'm going to wash my paintbrush off now, and we'll get on to the armor. I will be right back. Grab my paintbrush washer real quick. Hold on just a sec. All right. So I'm using my paint brush washer here, which is called brush cleaner, and it helps keep your brushes preserved and in good shape. As you can see behind me in the background, right there over my shoulder, that is the collector's edition I got of oh goodness, what is that game called? Not Shadow of War for Lord of the Rings, and that is a Nazgul, not Nazgul, but a Fell Beast with the main actor of the character of the game is riding the Fell Beast, and then down here he's attacking a Balrog. That's actually I love that piece of art in my room as a part of Lord of the Rings. And the other thing I'm planning on working on right now is uh, once we get the channel a little bit bigger, is I've got a full map of the Lord of the Rings I'm going to put in the background. Then eventually maybe we get our own banner for Nashville Middle Earth Strategy Battle Gaming group and have that in the background for filming purposes. But we'll see. I'm just washing my brush off right now. All right, that is all clean. Now I'm going to do another fine detail brush. Grab another one. And to do the armor with, because I want to make sure I grab the do the armor, and you want to have fine detail with that one as well. All right, so as I said, we're going to do Retributor armor, which is a base coat from Citadel. I'm going to shake this guy up. All right. My paintbrush wet. Oh, cool. Yeah, I think the new stuff, I think it'll definitely come out if they're following the same kind of schedule that they did for Gondor at War. They announced the book, and then the book came out the next month. So I'm thinking War and Rohan will come out probably late September, early October is what I'm thinking. So I think it'll definitely be in time for our 2-day event in December early. Super excited that you'll be able to come to that. I think you'll have a good time. Everyone's going to get something. We have a lot of really nice prize support that's been donated from different artists and Lord of the Rings makers from around the world. So we're really blessed with that, and I can't wait to show off what some of the stuff that we've been given. We've got right now, our sponsors are Small Scenics from the UK. We've got Zorpazor Gaming from Australia, and then we've got Right Terrain Studios from Alex Wright in the New England area. So we've got those three guys right now, and we're looking at some other sponsors right now as well that are. If you would be interested in sponsoring or giving some stuff for the event, shoot me a message and let me know, because we're trying to get all that together right now. But for our 2-day event, it'll be $40 at the door, $35 for early entry. So what we'll do is we'll basically have the early entry until Thanksgiving on November 28th, and then anything after that will be the full price of $40, and that'll help with the room and getting that all paid. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and paint the armor here. So I'm just going to start by going with the legs and then going up to the chest. Something I'm working on right now, Lee. I don't know if it's going to be done in time, but I've got a few different armies that I don't have painted right now. One of them is the Grand Army of the South, and I haven't seen a whole lot of people bring those to a tournament. I don't know how competitive it would be at the tournament level, but I love the mobs and war camels, so it's definitely something that I want to finish putting together. So I've got that army that I'm working on. Then there is I've got a bunch of Minas Tirith that I haven't painted up yet, and some of it I've sold to some of the other guys in the group, but I've got that to paint together. But it's not really an army I'm super excited to play. I see Minas Tirith played a decent amount around the tournaments that I've been to. I want to play something that I don't see a whole lot. Yeah, I love the look of Harad, and I don't know if you saw my war camels. Let me grab one of my war camels for. I'm really proud of how they turned out. I'll grab those guys for you real quick. Be right back. Forgot my camels are in my closet. Grab them. There. And grab some of the stuff out for tomorrow for our game day. Like I was saying, the first mission for our battle company's game tomorrow is called Defend the Gate. So it's a lot of trees in the surrounding area, and then the gate that one here is. Here's one of my camels I'll show you that I'm really I like the way these guys turned out. I just need to or not base coat them, but base them. And this is how my war camels turned out. You can see them there. But yeah, pinning. I got some more of these guys to paint up. I just haven't done it yet. But they're a lot of fun to play. They're actually more powerful than I thought when I looked at them initially, because when you charge into them uh, with the camels, they take a strength. I think it's a strength 3 hit. So I'll have to look at that and see. Yeah, I think it's a strength 3 hit. So potential to have a lot of hitting power. You just want to make sure, since they have low courage, you just want to make sure that they're not going up against something that's got terror. So you want to make sure you can get into those models and get those hits in. So you take the hit and then kill the model with the hit. I think you have to stay there. I can't remember. I don't think you can move, continue moving. But anyway, so yeah, I love the way the camels turned out, and one of the things I want to work on is my Broadrum King War Elephant. It's not the standard Mumakil, but the one with the spikes on him, and he's got the chain that goes across his horns. So I want to try and paint that model up. I just haven't done it yet. Got a lot of projects that I want to work on. But anyways, one of the things I want to try and get done if I have time has to do with this army, and it's not a strict Mirkwood army. I want to do a Battle of Five Armies list where it's got Mirkwood Elves, it's got the Iron Hills Dwarves with Dane, and then it'll have the Bard and and, and the guards from his town, from Lake Town, the Lake Town guards. So since they're all green alliances, they all get the bonuses. So that's an army that I want to work on soon, and I'm actually trying to see if I can get them done in time for the tournament in December. So we'll see what happens. I think they would be a lot of fun to play. I've seen them played in one tournament, and I really liked how they played and synergized with each other. And put that together with the Dwarf Ballista, and it's be quite brutal. So once I get done, Tariel, that's her name. Tariel is the other elf painting. Once I get done with this captain, once I get done with them, I'm probably going to go ahead and start working on Branduil, just because he's a great model and he's going to be the centerpiece for the Mirkwood Elves for me. right. So I got the bottom part of him done, as you can see more in the camera. You see the gold there, just one coat. It's already looking pretty good. Now we're going to go up to the top section up here and paint his arms and his breastplate. What's an army that you don't have at the moment, Lee, that you would like to get? If you had the money and the time to paint something you don't have, what do you think it would be? I really like how this gold looks on him. I think it looks awesome. Although I like anything painted in gold, I think just makes the model look really sweet. So Mirkwood, Angmar, Harad, Corsairs, Moria Dwarfs. Yeah, those are all. Mirkwood was. I always liked Mirkwood in the Hobbit movies. I just think they're such a cool army. Um, so I picked them up months ago actually, and um, just haven't painted them yet. 'Cause was busy painting my Moria army, but now that they're pretty much done, um, I'm starting on Mirkwood now. So Nova is going on right now. I know there's a lot of people going to that and playing in that. Um, but I heard at least I also play Star Wars Legion. I heard the Legion train wasn't that great this year, and it wasn't great last year either, which is kind of disappointing. But I wish they would. This is the second year the game's been out now, so I figured they would have had some better terrain this year. But I'm hoping everyone that's there is having a good time at least. But my wife and I got to go to Nova last year. It's right around our anniversary. Our anniversary is in October, and so that was our trip. I got to had an invitation to the Nova tournament since last year it was. Oh, I'm sorry, I went to Nova. I'm trying to think about this. Yeah, I went to Nova. I won the first day. It was the third time I'd ever played Legion. I won the tournament with a triple speeder bike list. And then I got invited to nationals, which was at Adepticon this year, and that was a really great experience. But I know there's a lot of Lord of the Rings guys playing at Nova this weekend, starting today. I was seeing some pictures and looked like they were having a lot of fun. I saw a 107 model ruffian list that was going against. I think there were some Rivendell elves, and that looked brutal. Anyways, yeah. So last year I got to go to Nova and play in that, and then um, I played. I wasn't playing Lord of the Rings yet. One of the guys that I played Legion against, he was there for Lord of the Rings 2, and he was telling me about it, and I was like, oh, I'll have to look into that. And then just so happened when I came back to Nashville, my local gaming store, the Game Cave, where we have a lot of our tournaments at, was selling all their Lord of the Rings stuff at 50% off. So I bought all the Lord of the Rings stuff they had and jumped into the game and started helping grow the community here in the Nashville area. So I'm had a lot of fun with this game so far, getting to paint the models and Made a lot of great friends, like Lee and and a bunch of other guys. We have a great group here out of Nashville, so definitely blessed to have a lot of uh, not only talented painters here in our group, but also just great people to play with. Right now, I'm just painting his gauntlet and trying to decide if I want to paint his cufflinks silver or if I want to do them in gold. Hmm. I'll leave them as is for right now. I'll try them in silver and see what that looks like. I'm just going back through and doing the detail work on his uh, shoulder pads, the upper part of his armor here. How long have you been playing Lord of the Rings for? I can't remember how long you told me you've been playing. So yeah, it's just been about, it'll be a year in October. So long I've been playing Lord of the Rings. Actually painting models, because it's the first game I've actually painted stuff in, but I've learned a lot over this past year just painting stuff. That's been a great help. Before I go any further, I should probably take a and for our painting contest. All right, there we go. Oh yeah, so you started playing in March, so you jumped kind of in the deep end. Lee, you got right into it. You just started, so you've been playing for almost 6 months now. It was March of this year. So I'm gonna paint his other armband now. I'm gonna see how he looks as of right now. So I've got the gold on his legs, on his breastplate, on that shoulder and armband. Now I'm gonna hit this one right there. What? Yeah. My cat Furball woke up. She wants to say hello. Yeah. Say hello to everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had in order to get into Lord of the Rings at my local shop, I had to buy all the models they had there at 50% off. So I jumped in feet first as well, and that was a yeah, that was it was my birthday present. It was around my birthday in October. All right, so now I've got a first layer base coat of the model. You can see I've got the legs done, got the breastplate done, I've got the arms done here, and then the arms done over here as well. So I'm going to go back and look over it, see if there's anything else I want to touch up on. A few places I'm going to add another coat. Yeah, I jumped in feet first as well, and happy I did. I've had a lot of fun playing with these models and painting them up. Something I'm thinking about getting right now for my birthday this year is a display case. Put these guys in so I can look at them when I'm not playing with them. We will see if that's in the cards. May not. Oh, thanks, buddy. This was my great aunt's shirt who passed away from cancer recently. Um, so I wore this today. I was thinking about her. Um, this is one of the last shirts that she wore before she passed away. Good to see you, David. Glad to see you tonight. Trying to think of the shirt I wore yesterday. Uh, that was my what shirt was it? The Star Wars? I can't remember. Yeah, I got to go to New Zealand for my honeymoon in April, and my wife and I had a great time, and she enjoyed it for the sightseeing, and I enjoyed it to see all the sightseeing as well, and also to see all the Lord of the Rings stuff. So that was really cool. Yeah, ever since I remember going to the theater and watching the Fellowship and the Two Towers and the Return of the King, I was just blown away with those movies, and then read the books as well when I was younger before the movies came out in the early 2000s, and love the books as well. I read the Fellowship of the Ring earlier this year. Now I'm gonna plan on going back and rereading the Two Towers. Oh, Marvel, that was it. I'm trying to think what Marvel shirt it was. I can't remember. It's been a long day, David. I can tell you that. Glad to see you, here, buddy. What are you painting up right now, David? Are you working on anything at the moment? You working on your Mordor? Dave and I had a really fun game of Battle Companies last Friday night to help me get my second game in for both of my companies. A lot of fun. Yeah, I'm just going back right now and touching up some of the spots that didn't quite get enough gold, or spots I missed. Oh, nice. Yeah, I really want to get the Sauron model. I hope they bring a metal version of him back. Or if either of y'all, anyone in the group or anyone by that matter finds or sees a metal Sauron, hit me up because I want to get one. All right, so I think he looks uh, pretty good. I'm gonna look at a picture real quick. Picture I posted. Look at what color their boots are. I'm also gonna plug my computer in because it's about to die. Don't want the stream to end early.